Howdy, I am Yari the Impaler, and welcome to my castle. Today I shall be playing some... Where is it? There it is. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now this game, I've been waiting for a very long time to play. It was first released in 2015 on the 3DS, as part of the Ace Attorney series. Those who don't know, this is about Phoenix Wright and a ragtag group of friends and detectives and stuff, and courtroom drama, objection, that sort of stuff. But this game in particular is the earliest in the whole timeline. I keep forgetting the Ace Attorney series was like, it came out in like the 2000s, but like they took place in like the 2013s, I think, or 2017s. It's very, very interesting. It's like the future of courtroom cases. They will end in 3 days, and barely a trial, but you must stand out for justice and stuff like that. But this one, you play as Phoenix's ancestor, and there's Sherlock Holmes, or as they call it in this version, Herlock Sholmes, because copyright, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how this goes. Do I have this? Everything set up? Yes, I do. Everything is. Wait a minute. Why is this playing? I heard my voice. No, I just want this page up for reference. Okay, sorry. Stuff in the background. Okay, let us turn attention to my magic TV screen over here. There it is. And there I am. Now, where is it? Where is it? Great Ace Attorney. Not under T, it's under G for the great. Where's my game? Where's my game capture? There's my game capture. Autosave feature. I know. I did first time set up on this. I know. Okay. Adventure. New game. I have sound. Yes, I have sound. What's going on up here? There was screen tearing. Yeah, we're good.
まさに今、西洋文化の大波が押し寄せていた。活気に満ち溢れる帝都の民は変化、革新の熱気にむせ返り、その変化に戸惑う者も飲み込んで。
Subtitles are a bit like thin. Give me some thicker subtitles, please. Oh, gunshot. Whoa. Murder most foul.
そんな時代を舞台に一つの物語が幕を開く。
Oh. Whoa. Well then. Bienvenue à la carnival. I was told I should play this in Japanese first and then English, because first Japanese place and then Sherlock Holmes, so hey. Oh god, thanks. All the options. What kind of options? We could save, load, audio. Okay, cool. Go back. Did I fuck up anything over here by accident? I don't think I did. I still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer! Sorry. Well, my name is Ryonosuke. Is it Ryonosuke or Ryonosuke? Ryonosuke. Naruhodo. Whatever. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, was there like a proceed button without just using the mouse? Can I just use like Z, I think? Yeah. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, waiting my trial. Are your levels good? Yeah, they're good. That's enough! Oh. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. I should think of like, this kind of voice, yes. More sophisticated, yes. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. Fuck. So you will hold your tongue. Tuh! Technicalities, look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. This guy's pretty cool. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how court officers behave. Right? Rinosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha ha ha! There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Ah. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. A Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by a student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Rinosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in the second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. I was like, who's he speaking? No, I'm speaking. These names. Rinosuke is me. Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. Successes. God, I'm trying to read so fast because I'm used to like fucking Yakuza 7 being like, you better hurry and read faster or else we're gonna skip this. I was like, fucking damn it, Yakuza. I can take my time here and really absorb the text. Yes. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world? I'm really happy for you. I'm proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about a change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City in London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place for a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Oh, he's saying that. Partner? 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 I reckon. Yeehaw. Straight after that, that's when it happened. Who's this? Asogi, may I have a word? Oh, okay. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. Never mind that for now, Asogi. We should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who's this man? I feel as though I have seen him at a university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then. Yonosuke, I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Yonosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotaba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree with Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. Oh no. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had the feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. God, this OST already is fucking... Damn. I love me some violins. Blech. But then what should I do? Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the court number once. Oh, okay. Here we go. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. Surreptitious. That's a word. So let me just summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in advocating for the likes of you anyway. Jesus, oh. This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. Trials that would decide my destiny. Here we go. November, 9 a.m. The Supreme Court of Judicature. That's a word. Not a judicial or judiciary. Judicature. Courtroom 2. Yeah. So this is courtroom. Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like to look at those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. Powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. Secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It will become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate. Yosuke. It's about to begin. Oh boy. I recognize that defendant, but this judge. Court will now hear the trial of Yosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. This fucking guy. Ouchie. His name is still Ouchie. Oh, this guy. He's been a long time character, and now we are seeing his ancestor. That's fantastic. As is its defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of the advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. The whole procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to a trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question Professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. So like, oh, so nervous. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. Oh. What was the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Yosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Yosuke? Professor Mukutaba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? Oh, I'm being summoned. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Let me just calibrate. I should also drink. I should have done that while I was away. I'm sorry. I apologize. I be getting thirsty. Okay. Okay, I'm good. He did what? He said that your dreams of staying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Tuh. Professor Mikotaba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really? Yari. So he has more of a posh Yari. Make no mistake, counsel. That does still work for his voice, yeah. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Hmm? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated the most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. That fucking word, judicature. Judicature. I've heard of judicial and judiciary, but not judicature. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? Questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Can you say before the court the name of the victim in this case? Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Yonosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of E. Excuse me, Kazuma? Did you say E? That's a sound bats make. E. Also, what's this E button you're talking about, Kazuma? It's like, what is this, a video game? E. Okay, I guess I'll wait until I can do so. If you find yourself forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. Let's press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. So this evidence you've collected. Now try... he's talking. This evidence you've collected. Now try switching people instead of with E. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press Z to go back. Gotcha. John H. Wilson. Visiting professor of medicine at UMA University from British Empire. Okay. John H. Wilson. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press R to present. Try it now. Okay. R! Hi! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to UMA University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is becoming under great scrutiny from our allies and on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policy makers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why the trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Sorry, my mouth. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. Where are we going? Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Partner! British Empire. Wow, it's an incredible thing. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhiro. Yes, Your Excellency. How does Professor of Medicine Dr. John H. Wilson lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Yonosuke. Remember that in court. Every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death. Select present. Present. Post-mortem report. Left 2 p.m. was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Did not pass through the victim's body. Just oof. And hey. Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Not to read, you imbecile! I know that feeling. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry. Yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death as... Yeah! In an autopsy. God, now I'm fucking up real bad. Yeah! Give me another drink. It's, you know what it is? It's my, like... nemesis, my old nemesis, standing in front of the class and giving reports. My report on the growing of plants and sunlight is about plants. Damn it. Sorry, I forgot to mute for that part when I set my drink down. Clunk. I apologize. My report on the how to kill the mockingbird. It's about stuff. Damn it. Oh, the PTSD of school time. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, Counsel. Court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. When the victims has been entered in the court record. Okay. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Mikotoba. Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. Doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When you were speaking to me before, you simply said, Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court record. Yeah, for the court, please. Court record. I'm used to that line. For the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Ahem, ahem. Oh. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. Oof. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, on an occasional eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? Ooh. So I'm loving these, like, remixes. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. Court wishes to listen to witness report of what you saw, you amateur! But... next time you interrupt at an appropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruto. Don't worry, Minosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Sitting beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. But you said there were 3 tables occupied. And again, beside the victim. But who else was there? Who else was there? Also my throat. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. I see. Huh? Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. Oh. There was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have just missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Interject! Hold it! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the table, the same table. Yeah. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure what I saw. Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. What he said. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. Afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, not the judge. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. Oh, there you go. So, the court has now heard the premises of the case. Yes, the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case. Ah, fuck, I pressed right click, I'm sorry. I guess history. Explain the details of the case of the court. Thank you, history. Let us warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mukutapa's said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? The accused is in fact innocent. Then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Oh, I'm being summoned. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. No more interruptions, I apologize. Apologize. Okay. Oh. Defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. And we'll see just how decisive the evidence really is. Oh. Indeed. Prosecutor Aochi, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. Oh. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Oh boy. Witnesses, can you state your names and occupations for the court? Yes, sir. Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant. Yes, sir. No, sir. God damn it. Yes, sir. No, sir. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employee as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District, Curio, Kurakuta. Like Curio, Curiosity, Curio, Kurakuta, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both the gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day of the question. There must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios in which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man's saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was a black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. It was like, like a little squeak. I heard something too. So this is decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Sending ready to report, sir. He's making those noises. A little sus. Unsavoring memories of a most acerbic afternoon. What the witnesses saw. Interesting also that usually it's like one, but now we have two. Is ingesting a regulation beefsteak at a restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. There it is again. He's doing like a cough, like a yeah. Don't mind what he truly said. Just never mind that. Like uniformed varsity cadet fired down the English civilian from the back. Cowardly little weasel. From the back, you say? I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed a vital moment. You saw a split second when the defendant fired the fire weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. Cruel and unforgivable enemy. Unforgivable. Yeah. Or tanto. What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Yonosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. You know what? Hold on, I should do one thing for this particular stream. I should. Oh no, mouse wheel proceeds. Ah, mouse wheel. So I have to go back to history. I just said hello, Dr. Wilson. I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Coffee? I'm gonna turn off cursor capture. Oh, there it is. Just for this one stream. I gotta remember to turn it back on. Fuck. I hope I remember. Yeah, just because I'm tired of seeing the cursor on the screen during this whole thing. Go back. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. And I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to what the criminal was. Who that criminal was. God, mouth words, Yari. Yeah. There is. No, it's okay. You must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring his despicable students to justice. Certainly, testimony in the court just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. What in the name of Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense. Defense is right to cross-examination. And examine. Yeah, magnifying glass. Obviously. What do I do though? Or I guess I present that. Not student. What do you want me to present? How to present? Present. What do you want me to do, game? Game. Back? Oh, I guess I pressed. Did I press? I must have pressed like fucking. I think I pressed that. I didn't say it was like actual. Okay. There we go. I thought it was telling me to do something. My bad. My bad. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How do you know? The prosecution objects. This was a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? The defense is asserting his right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Cousin is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of these witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins. You're in a scare. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that soldier was said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves witnesses lying. Ah, I'm stumbling my words. Ah, mouth words. Let's go, Yonosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Slap. Here we go. Ingesting ration, gotcha. Yes. From the back. From the back. Now I must present a thing here. Because as you can see here, as you can see clearly, What? What are you playing at, cadet? What's the meaning of this subordination? Adjusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. Tch, what nonsense. What could this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think it proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the grand courtroom. Ah, so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely it doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense. Yeah. That there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Ayesanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eye, sir. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah! Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that's the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Baby. Oh, well... What the... What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge. Baby. My eyes were... Firmly fixed the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? Last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ayesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Yeah, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh, God. Burned. Just a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. This is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. The university cadet there was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, who didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed, the Hoyarakoban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit the restaurant, it is my habit to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute. In hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my hoard treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished. See, the thing, like, these two voices. This is more energetic, and the old man's is not as energetic. So there we go. Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhappen had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded hoard treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. Oh, shit. Sorry, I did it again. Keep my mouse up here. That lamentable day, the precious Hoikoban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver the verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Aochi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger from the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there's only one person who could possibly have committed a despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kimiko glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Waiting for you to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. News member of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Aido. Aido Nosa. Yes, sir, Nosa. God damn it, these names. It seems those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Aido, attention! Your father is what to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual source of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out! Ooh, this one's tougher, ooh. These testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photograph point of the scene of the crime, counsel? Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print. It would be reasonable to conclude the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. Court will add this new photographic evidence to the court record. Yes, the court record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. Where did before said the same thing? He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But it's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we've just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takatsuchi Aoshi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. How can this be happening? Judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Yosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Here we go. Wasn't the precise moment. It's almost the same thing. No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. Glad. Sorry. Something on words. Fuck. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Well then. Have what? Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving together the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? Unless I forget that the antique dealer witnessed the accused in the most indiscriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Kurikuta-san? Yes. He did see. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I told you already. It's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously, as a culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I just finished drinking my coffee and was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And I attacked it at the moment. Bang. A gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is... Sorry? What do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas, conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Let's see. Visual search the premise at the time. We were the only personnel present. Now, context. You're talking about them? What about the butler? The butler. Let me press that real quick. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. As you have seen that pains to point out time and again. That's right, time and again. I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. Fuck. And yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Ugh. If only there'd been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. That's what you expect. Certainly 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at the time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency. There was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What does that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hot dog clinic? Yes, so it indeed appeared to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon at past 1 p.m. Noon 2 past. Very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit the evidence before, as it really had no bearing on the case. I wonder. What do you think, Rensuke? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you requested for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for the medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? Yes. Yes! Hi! If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard a conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. Whether or not they are concerns up to decide. Up to us to decide. We have right to explore all possible avenues. God, my throat. My throat needs another drink. More drink. Okay. I beg your pardon. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. Court will grant the defense's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. And by the record, yeah. What we need right now is new clues. We have to support these from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's a day after the festival already. For you. I was like, what does that mean? Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korukuta-san. Alone he was, dining by himself. Let me check my stuff. Is there any further info? Now, report card as in like, hey, I have these things to present to you, person. Also, wait a minute. Damn it. Or examine. Now, wait a minute. He's facing away from the table. That's a thing, too. Then we have, you know... Oh, no. Go back to present. And then, no, not that one. Fuck. This one. That seems to match up. Nom. Wait a minute. Shit. Should I present this? I mean, he could have that carried out on himself, like, at all times in general, for, like, to bring home or something. I don't know. And again, for to meet with someone. What's the implications? I could just... Also, what's like, these things. I guess that's the current thing it had, yeah. And then there's... What was the black uniform cadet? We could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. Fuck. Excellent work, Yosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Yes! How exactly? You notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are ones you may examine. For space, you can take a closer look at this piece in question. Use arrows. Oh, okay, that's I see now. Try the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using WASD. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. Oh, okay. The crosshairs start to pulsate. Press space to investigate further. Gotcha. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. Consider it something new to learn. Be learnt by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Need to use arrows, WASD, and space. Inspect any areas of evidence. That looks suspicious. I can use the mouse to do that, but then I have to use dentist, Hota clinic. This medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. Probably a record, long-term treatment. That's why, with a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Fuck. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. Oh, and you're at your lowest ebb. Oof. You sound like a model patient. With bad case of stubbornness, no less. For which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. It says Hota Clinic on the medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I fell off already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Ugh, never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have it had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people with illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Wait a minute. Yo. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It seems so, just before the incident. He had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. It's the most modern practice in the West for the pain relief. Yes, I've heard of anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Yes. The murder victim has got dead treatment, drinking anything but water. This information, meaning of that one particular statement, totally changes. So, I think it's time to listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Hell yeah. Same thing. Pointing the gun. Furthermore, only one present. Did alone, dining by himself. dining in general. I present this because it confirms that he could not eat, he could not drink, whatever. We could still eat probably. It didn't say anything about eating, but drinking. Well, I think, what are you about? What are you whittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could. First and foremost here, I'm the accused. Yonosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. I know that feeling. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I can see it quite clearly in the cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Kurakuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clear doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But, let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. on the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. Ugh. But that's, remember, Yonosuke, you have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's certainly no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there's no one else besides the pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetuated. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? That's because Hada Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? This supposed to mean something to me. Perhaps I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what you're trying to say, Cadet. He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What does say food? Big brain Yari. What? No, that can't. Kurakuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. Yo. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Ugh. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. I should be done, partner. What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely.
So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim wasn't able to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel?
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the person's table.
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. The court decides to push through a ruling at this stage. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly.
Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government?
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand.
What
are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And, since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No.
Oh, my throat. Oh god, these voices. Oh.
Hold it. Negative. There was no mention of this at tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. It just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us.
Oof.
Oh.
What? What did you just say, Kurita-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
No, hold on that. I was,
So you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements. Is this true, you pair?
Just one. Just one simple as tongue. Of course, as these things happen.
Order, counsel, explain what's going on here.
It's painfully clear now. Try to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
And who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouths shut?
Well,
That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you?
You wouldn't. This can't be happening.
Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to that kind of influence, there's only a handful of possibilities. Only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. Maybe whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? Before? We examined a piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Ah yes, the card! The card! That the dude was so upset about. Ooh, the card! Ah yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose.
I want answers. If it is proved that witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear there's every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this?
Well, Your Excellency. Oh, no time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes in my head. The court record. Court record. Let's examine this. I can't flip it. Wait, kitchen. The restaurant has a number of questions, I think. Definitely. Supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there. Exactly, and that's not all. Look here in the upper left, where it says kitchen. Oh yes, what of it? No wonder those complicated characters write kitchen, especially now if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself? Don't you? Study harder. Study harder, Ryunosuke. Shit. Can I? Yes! Yes! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Police Bureau. Yo, hold up. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga? Well, yes, business cards do tend to show this person's name. Well, that's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I had no idea. But let's face it, police have a lot of power and influence. They're willing it's somehow here. Yes. Besides the prosecution, the only person with necessary influence to admit the witness is... Yes. Well, sure that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san.
Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence. This.
Or... The panel of the restaurant sketch about the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Excellency, but it's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon?
Or perhaps I should have said, the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is.
Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketches plan the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession.
The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious!
That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the sea?
Well...
Inspector Hosonaga. I was worried something this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility.
The court will take this plan and add to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer, what?
Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
Why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter?
Ah, of course.
Your salary must be... I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the record.
Sorry. Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity of a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
What he says.
Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if the Englishwoman was the killer? Yeah. Ah, God, I didn't have a fucking drink. Holy shit. More drink. Yari, drink. So my tongue feels like sandpaper sometimes. I'm like, fuck. Englishwoman was the killer. I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, sitting in the Medical Facilities Research Laboratory, is a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Then the court demands that you would name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She's indeed a foreign student sitting in the research laboratory at University's Medical... God, Yari, stop reading so fast. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty. I did it again. I apologize. Yeah.
What's happening here?
The university's faculty. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Critical premise. Premise. There's no English thing. Premise. But if you remove the P and R, put a D in there, it's demise. What is English? Namely, that victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga.
Yes, sir.
You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with your utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given for the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. Oh, there you go.
Nothing will get in my way. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Shazael Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency.
Good, and we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Recess. Continued. My throat's tearing up. I want to finish this one case and then probably wrap it up because, oof, my voice. Yes, I will save. Okay. That's auto-save, obviously. Yeah, that says right there, auto. Excellent. Hey, I can never skip this part. It's like, come on. Excellent work, Yunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. Yep. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of the courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've explored your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she? So I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I may not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Next to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. See what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was first on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up. Bang. Didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. He bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. What? If I was thinking about the detective, he apprehended such a moment's delay. Just because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Yep. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Mikotoba, not Taba, Toba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Crime case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor,
Did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go in this battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Arigato. Now then. I need you to run an errand for the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Naruhodo! Course recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal the decisive blow. Yeah, but those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then... Ah, my wrist. Yeah. I had my hand just on my mouse pad the entire, like, intently, like, fucking, oof. I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial... Sorry, my throat. Yeah. I'm really gonna give up on this dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So it isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Yes. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria at University Street. An extra large portion, of course. Aha. Here we go. Here we go. The court hereby resumes the trial of Yonosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Auchi, have you managed to subpoena as a witness? Subpoena? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. There's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. The friendship between our nations really is so fragile, and the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this where our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan of England? Or of England? Shut up, you jumped up, Brookie boy! And you and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with a great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert, but I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. I'm sitting here now in the Supreme Court. There is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Nervousness. Nervous. Those eyes. Ah. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system. It is solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Josiah Brett.
Yes.
Your Excellency.
Just one. Now, Yari, don't voice her like a country bumpkin. Voice her like a British woman. There we go. I'll do my damnedest.
Well, that was what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentleman to Japan, such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea.
Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
This guy. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival.
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Fuck. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
The lady says her name is Josiah Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in New University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
I'm pretty sure hummingbirds just buzz around. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously define England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rally you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke.
Well, thanks, beautiful lady, for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. Court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time.
I'm always bugged that doctor doesn't have a period after it. Why is there no period there? No dot. It's just Dr. Space Wilson. Unless... No? Should have a dot there. What the fuck?
Is that correct?
Oh, shit. I closed my window real quick. I was like, oh god, window. She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's sitting here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. But I could have sworn you escorted her out, or whatever. Hold on. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. Exactly. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this pornographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your splendid eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
You mean to say?
Yes, it appeared that lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
Oh. Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Can you tell the court the exact nature of this frightening, sorrowful sight you described?
Oh boy. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day.
I guess you could say luncheon was unforgettable.
God damn it, Yari.
Yes.
The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
This is a condemning testimony indeed.
No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scholar like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
It's so annoying.
Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brentwood was not involved, so I let her go. Just where the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
Except for her gigantic fucking hat. Sir.
I would think she had a gun almost anywhere in the outfit if she wanted to.
Yep.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden the weapon can be shown, this is moot.
Or the tail, the dress.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun.
Those are the witness's own words on the matter. Like, you ever try to hide something like heavy in your hat? And again, how secure is that hat? It's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I'd prove it. Woof. Woof. Don't think we'll do anything rash, Ryunosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up.
there must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. To do so, we need to pull her testimony apart. Oh. Green. The defense right now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Here we go. Cross-examination. Heather. Now I'm thinking of her arranged married from fucking Titanic from Jontron's review, and Britain and Titanic arranged meet. Damn it, Yari! Don't think about dumb YouTube videos right now. We have a case to solve. Same thing with luncheon. Unforgettable luncheon. Yes. Yes. That part's true. Yes. The accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Press further, please. Never got into an argument with the professor. All I did was when I noticed him was to go over and say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Britt does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such an cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all supiku Englishu. Oh boy. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something on the matter of testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That portends on what you said, doesn't it? Yes. I still had some coffee to drink. And next time you got up after that. So I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Ooh. Thinking. Let's press this one. To a further conclusive thing. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point in repeating the assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to attack by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the presser as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious lady, and that will do, you dirty rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusation could very well cause an international incident, boy. Seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense! Lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so I couldn't have been the culprit. I want to press this for you. It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Oh, no, go back. Absolutely, I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did. You just asked her? Shows you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not?
The honorable English gentleman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter.
Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps?
Think what you will. If you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the finding was considering a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence. Ugh. Lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. But she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. Lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she only too happy to she's only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a certain student who refused to admit when the game is up. You at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you.
So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is now a totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in dull black school uniform. I'm just acting the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as a fiction as it is. Oh, if we can't do that, then the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous look you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. The fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either. The first thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that and an opening will present itself. I promise you. You'll expose the true face of the foreigner hiding behind the mask. So I should be aiming for this in cross-examination. Let me see what's my data that I have. No. It's not specific on this body. That the luncheon table, the table. Which of course she would have been sitting there. So my question is why is he sitting here now? That's my big question about all this. Is there any sort of thing involving that? Can I go like back? I can go back and forth, okay. This isn't a risk right now, of course. A fierce argument. Level 8, that's true. You know what, let's see the arranged meeting part. Let's press this one. After 2 p.m. in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are in vogue, isn't that right?
No.
Ah.
So the English no has quite a sting to it. This woman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it's apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted the evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late.
Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Yes, let's press this one. Just because. Something to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to be actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Britt aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that'd mean that and it was you who made us take pictures here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. That's inconsistency. Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be born such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. My lady, I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has suspected you of this terrible blight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor wasn't able to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunoseki, about the witness's last statement? It's very meaningful. The last statement of yours, Miss Brett, that has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us what is this profound bearing?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to his testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Can you repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony?
Gladly, she said. That's brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? Significance will become apparent when the time is right. I really could use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips that you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. She himself, the brother, and I cheers over a glass of carbonated water. I press. Or no, fuck. No, I meant to present. Fuck. I meant to present, not press. Fuck. Can I skip, please? Skip, fast skip. Rapid. Oh, come on. Oh, I see. Just, damn it. Come on. I'm sorry. I meant to present. They both start with a P. I'm sorry. Wait, there's like new words. Hold on. What was I saying? Hold the phone. Hold on. This is Inspector Detective. Wait. Oh, it's more. I see. That added carbonated water part. Okay, so I should read this. Fuck. So both of you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I remember doing so. So, detective. The beefsteak, that was for you, Miss Brett. Lydia says that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a frightful place, ladies' opinion. I'm afraid that's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful. I see. Every country has its own cuisine, as long as people have food to eat. What does it matter what it is? What does it matter what it is? True, come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. But anyway, back to this witness's statement. Can I actually, like, somehow I feel like there's something out of place in that what you say. There is! You mustn't say this thing now, because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Kazuma. Yes, okay. Back to the water part. Present. I should just press E for that, fuck. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is its fence's ability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Bridge just told us that she and the professor had said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, also obviously wine, but you know, water, sure, why not? I mean, they could, you know, in the 1800s, could they have had carbonated water in bottles like that? I don't know. That sounds like a 90s thing to me. There should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference is the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Minutiae, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do such something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink only with only 1? You are quite right. I suddenly took 2 glasses to the table.
Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she is saying.
Good gracious!
Sorry. Sorry.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
I think what she's saying, sorry as we can hear, or sorry as, And again, English or Japanese. English. Oh, please.
You must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's lunch companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So, do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the sea. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case.
Mouth words.
This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we consider the matter have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's deeper significance here. It's the handbag. Wait, did you put the glass in your handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English women and gentlemen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right.
Fuck, I clicked out the window again. Fuck. There we go. Keep the mouse on the window, Yari. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. If he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Hasanaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Josiah Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order, order, order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Aochi?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Sorry, that's it. Bags here, huh? I am. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside.
That's right. Apparently, mesh work bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment.
So the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there's no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
Ah!
As you can see, there's nothing to apply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Give me more drink. Give me more drink.
Stay hydrated.
Okay.
Order, order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency. This still didn't answer why.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence.
As a photographic print just submitted to the court, record appears to have no further significance. But it does so. But it totally does. Look at it. Look at it. Yo, what's this though? What's this shit on his wrist? And then this weird-ass transparent handbag. Like mesh. Why mesh? And one side's like not mesh, one side is mesh. It's very, very strange. Anyways.
I am satisfied that there are no longer any room for doubt. There is no longer any room for doubt. In this matter, I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over on the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than when I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry. Renosuke. Now the cross-examination of the witness is over. There's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty for a crime that I didn't commit? Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You're the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue.
Very well, I now proceed to the ruling.
It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all.
Smug little...
No scared, no hurdle. Having considered all the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you...
Wait, Your Excellency. Renosuke? I don't think you can rule us on this case yet.
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial's over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Glove. Alright, Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter. I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there were a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag a gentleman is carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
But I know what you're doing, Renosuke.
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can clean any new information from this handbag.
My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate. This isn't the wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. Let me place my finger on it.
Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I'm unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with an immediate effect. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, taking a look at this photographic print Inspector Hosnager submitted before. We will identify the court where in this print we see the significant details which you have alluded.
This perhaps? Or just him in general? The seating? The anything? And present.
Look at this, here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. Like mine right now, with the mouse pad. Ah! That is true. It looks like almost burn of some description. Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Certainly has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, there's a burn mark, you're right. Oh, an inspector! The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I was intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as prosecutor, I wish to point out that unless a firm connection to the case should be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It seems Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from this stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What do you think on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. If I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, and hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am. If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again. Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue without a little more than conjecture. What if we had evidence? What if we had evidence? If. Yeah. Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case. Then, would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell you the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Brett's face. Really? I have to find something between that burn and the case. This is a moment of truth. Time to find some evidence to prove that what burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Hmm. No. Wait a minute. That right there. Right fucking there. Right fucking there. What's this? Counter? Get another print? Yes, Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have an unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it before you have to explain the reason for the victim's burn?
Right fork in there, dude. R. R key.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate? Oh! Oh! Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Oh. It's emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ah!
Rinosuke, you're a genius. You were spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well, Sadly, Prosecutor Archie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion at the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already. I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter.
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves on the piping hot plate for the 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any day before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day...
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Archie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Yosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of an apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson... No man can remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Far from in one particular situation.
Council? Are you suggesting... Yes, it's only possible. The man was already dead.
Already?
Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Order, please! Council explains absurd notions at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
No, Prosecutor Yari, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it is true, as we now believe, the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Yeah. Incredible! I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency...
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese. Well, of course I do. I'm sitting in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you on your own level. Oof.
Oh, well, you are the epitome of true English gentleman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration of you so graciously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the evidence leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
So,
that's right.
So we're finally going to hear her in her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Very interesting. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. You just fucking allied yourself, right? Fucking the other way.
That most comprehensive testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Easy does it. I hope this is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh,
Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
No, no, not at all. It is like merely to hear you speak, dear lady. It is very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May the irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
My tongue. Yeah. Mother tongue. My tongue. Amen. Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with cross-examination now. No. Oh. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, yes, yes. Do. Yes, yes, stay, gotcha. One report, you'll know about this gunshot. There's another way a man's life could be taken without leaving trace. Please do show me. The fucking glass. The glass. Of course, not leaving a trace. And again, back then they couldn't have seen like, oh, poison. But then again, shit! Music's still going, I fucked up. Seems clearly odd.
What appears to be odd is the way you're presenting yourself.
Oh, pay no attention, Your Excellency.
As you wish. Now can you lower your hand?
I missed the boom explosion sound. Never, not until I've proven I'm innocent here. Okay, okay. Without leaving a trace, if someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I'm always aiming for flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the president did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Ugh. Oh no, perish the thought. Call such sweet young ladies into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Aochi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions. Aspersions, that's the word.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. Use some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence.
But I had it. The glass. There's poison in the glass. Poison in the glass.
What do you think, Ryunosuke? I don't know. I think this could be hard work. She can speak Japanese brilliantly, but shouldn't seem to want to say very much. The more she says, the more she's likely to give away. This Englishwoman knows that only too well. She's quite formidable. She wants to burn to something, I'm sure. And they use this cross-examination to find out what. First things first, I'm going to press her on everything she said and try to make her blurt something out. What is it, Kazuma? What are you thinking? Oh, don't worry, it's nothing. Damn it. It's very, very forward of you, Ryunosuke. wind upon him. Burn his wrist like that, then press. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You kind of not noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at the courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. Oh, you can't not have noticed, can you? Huh? What? Ah! What is this fly you speak of? We're in the 1800s. Were zippers around in the 1800s? No. And again, fly in general. I guess maybe it's buttoned up. Aha! What fun! You hadn't realized. You didn't say like zipper. She said fly. So you hadn't realized. See, lady, absolutely right. As your friend, you embarrassed me as well as yourself in this game. Why did you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose audible silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Well, I can't. Anyway. Damn it. Professor and I raised our glasses in the toast. It's already. Oh yeah, you had glasses, yes, obviously. But I'll press this. Let's see what happens. It's just before you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table. I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. Ah, I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others in court, it means bless you. Oof. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. And this is part. There's a press on this part too. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage, plastic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it could only have been the bullet from your gun that put the end of this in this man's life. But this makes sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, it's true. If it cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. If the victim burned his wrist on a hot plate as soon as it was brought on from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. Indeed. And yet the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. And to be able to show the court evidence and prove that is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Did I press this one already? I don't think, or did I? I must have. Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, ah yes. Yes, we thought I heard this one. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. My brain's going places. What if... Oh shit, damn it, I meant to present. Fuck. I'm sorry, I did it again. Yeah. My apologies. What if she slit his wrist with that knife? And then the blood was drained, and Mr. Coughing Blood Man drank it. That's absurd. But not unfound in a game like this. What the...
do a crazy ass game like this. Damn it, it's doing this again. Fuck. I meant to like go backwards, but I can only use A and D for going forward and backwards. I have to remember that. Yes. What's my stuff? Yes. I'm still wondering about this whole thing. Like, why was he sitting here if he wasn't eating? That's the big thing. Why was he here and just here? Then we have yeah, obviously. See that knife? What if no. I think that's like a bird knife, not a stick knife, come on. And then we have this evidence here. Handbag. See the glass, that's why she took the glass, because it was full of poison. Obviously. That's my understanding of it. I think now that's poison earlier, but now it's like, now this, so, what could it mean? Let's go back. What do you mean by this? Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right, La Carnival is open business as usual days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, well, evidence may be lost. Yeah, oof. It occurred to you that naive detectives to try to observe the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Ah, I kill a blow! Ladies from Middle East, she is beautiful. Amazing. She's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Plus, Prosecutor Archie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Yes, coughing. Now it's doing this again. Yeah, I know. I must press her. Oh, no matter how much I press. Oh, okay, it's doing a new thing. Sorry. Let me go back real quick. What do you think about this, okay? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I expected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find the chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hasanaga. The detective? Yeah. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I think that might be significant. It might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement once more time. If you think so, but this time, stop targeting the woman herself. Let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, and I suppose once I press Miss Brett on the last statement again. Here we go! And press. And blah blah blah, inferior, blah blah. Oh yes, nah. And how do I? Yes, there it is again. Detective's reaction just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. It could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, When they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now. Real escape. What to do with the witness marker? What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who is the person actually making the current statement. Swoosh. By moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people instead. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. You can catch the person in just the right time. You might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright then. First I should move the marker across with AD and poke the detective. Pursue him with face. See what's on his mind. Here we go! Maybe lost. D. Yes. And pursue. Excuse me. God. What's the meaning of this? What he said. Now I have to cough. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. I was lost in his thoughts deeply. Looks like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. There's something you'd like to say, please. Share it with the court.
What is the meaning of this?
It's a delightful Englishwoman who is testifying at the moment.
If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. Detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact he's intimately involved in the case.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes.
do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett?
Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Sir Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation involved in flawless. Blah. I'm sorry, my tongue. Blah. Let me take one more drink. Oh shit, I skipped. No! Okay. Go back real quick, unless he was like cut off real quick, like, What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime, preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this for example. Yep. Poison. Is that? This is a bottle of carbonated water I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there is some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be amongst the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it.
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment.
The court will accept the glass bottles of water as evidence.
Miss Brett,
Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes. It was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to be avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Very well, Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor.
Yep. Can I examine this a little bit further? This carbonated water is the last drink the doctor was never had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle. Although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, it's okay. You can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? Never ceases to amaze me, Rensuke. In more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gotten quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. And...
What is this? A bottle of water?
Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. See, I could just put it in the glass and talked about it, but no, it's the bottle. I was ahead of myself. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from this glass?
Order, order, order!
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor at the sipped poison in his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it.
Josiah Brett, it was you. This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations would jeopardize the entire treaty?
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Ahem, if I may.
I will silence you forever this trivial attack on another young...
It is you who should be silent.
Of course. Dear lady.
Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And? What did you find, Inspector?
I ordered a test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself.
No. No!
I'm very grateful to all of you Japanese.
You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if it was poisoned.
Thank you, Counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding the weapon, is the only possible culprit.
Done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience it has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the court at this point?
Kazuma. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
No, there's one more thing. There's one more thing. Oh. You.
Please, wait.
Isn't that... What's the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistance Defense.
Yeah. Mikotoba?
In the darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Furoshiki.
Oh, that's good. That's fucking good. That's actually a good place to wrap up because I am hungry. I am hungry. Let me just save. Yes. Okay. Save complete. Good. Okay. And therefore, it is time for the end screen. Wait, my drink is still up. Fuck. The end screen. Indeed. Well, I want to thank you all for joining this day's stream. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back this weekend with Death Stranding. Another 6-hour-ish stream of Death Stranding. Yes. Let's see here. Who is live right now? Who can we raid? Archon is playing VR chat. Let's raid on Archon. Alrighty. And once again, wish to thank you all again. Hope you all have a good day, evening, night, whatever. Henceforth, so forth, whatever. And until next time, take it easy.
Bro, who did that? Nah, who did that? For real. Hug.